or the oldest ones were made almost 10 years after this chopper came out. So we're covering about at least 2, maybe 3 decades. Because that wagon has a Ford blue thumbprint on it. And I think there's Ford on the data plates for the corn head. And the chopper is still a spare from when Sperry owned New Holland. Just some fun facts. But I love how we've got, you know, multiple decades of stuff pieced together and it looks like it fits normally. So this is the first load of regular corn. Silo's about half full, and I'll make a separate video unloading this wagon since I haven't shown off its tandem axles yet. Up here, like that pulled that stock out, but the center row was getting real long and shaggy and not cutting well. Like there was stuff built up and the blades weren't getting to the stocks. Of course, walking out here I can see that, but he can't see it until he comes back around. And if it's not flowing on the head, that might be a sign, but that wasn't happening just over there. Maybe the sun is more on our side. Since we had to do a little bit of work prepping the head and greasing and oil and things, we didn't get quite as an early start as we had other days. Frost last night. I don't see it too bad in the corn. It was real light, mostly on, say, car windshields and things. A lot of the grass and whatnot was safe just because of warmth from the soil underneath. And I don't see the telltale burn on the leaves. Here and see where we're at. We have dented, but see how juicy that kernel is right there. There's a lot of milk line. Oh boy, got another pile going again. So there's plenty of juice. It's not overdone. We're making good silage for once. Of course, the joys of the fact that we planted this July 4th really helps because it's October, what, 22nd, 23rd? big bunch of schmutz. So a fun thing is those have those holes in it, and if you're real careful with the screwdriver, with two people, you can just stick the screwdriver through and use the reverse very carefully to push that stuff out. But yeah, we got an ear wedged, and sometimes when they're wedged it's hard to get them out, but that reversing feature is fantastic. Let's take a look at this side of the chopper. There's not as much fun moving stuff since it's the cab side. All the like moving parts of the kernel processor are on the other side, but we can see the gearbox and chains and things and the big belt. He's almost got a full wagon. This is good. When there's good corn, you know, I'll struggle to keep up making it back to the blower and unloading. He's getting a pretty good load up there. I just parked the wagon and walked over thinking I'd have a bunch of filming time. Like I said, when there's decent corn and it's not muddy, it can move pretty quick. There's much better volume with the real corn than there is with our direct cut of the sweet corn and whatever grasses grew. There's not enough roast corn here. Let's dive on through. Well, we'll use the sun to our advantage in this direction, but I wanted to take this moment while we watch the chopper to talk about, say, cattle prices and the move to let Argentinian beef in, which everyone's all up in arms about that. But the problem is we got to figure out how to rebuild the herd here at home first. And I don't know if lower beef prices will do that. It may incentivize, say, some ranchers to keep brood cows. But we need to think of a more direct incentive to keep brood cows. Because right now, with the prices so high, you know, all the farmers are wanting to sell anything they have. I mean, that's, if anybody's out there raising bottle calves like Holstein, you know it's gotten really squirrely. We were getting bottle calves for, we'll say, decently reasonable for the market, and then some Yahoo came in and offered the dairy farm $900 for week-old Holstein bull calves. That eats out any profit to be had paying that much for them, and you're bound to lose one no matter how many you're raising. Like, you're not going to have 100% stay alive. You'll probably lose 1-2% easy, or you're pumping them full of so many vaccines and antibiotics that you're losing a lot of profit there just buying medications and drugs trying to keep them alive. So I think what's happening is there's been a lot of investment in facilities because the prices are so high. Now the trouble is there's not many animals to be had. And not to say the condition of the dairy industry doesn't help. Like, dairy farms are going out left and right just because the price of milk is horrible. Oh, is he going to be able to swing it? No, he's going to get every stalk. Might not all go in the wagon, but they'll all be cut down. So like bringing in foreign beef is just a short-term solution. Yeah, it might dip the prices. And part of the reason we're not letting many cattle in is because there's a thing called the screw worm. And the government has worked really hard with a fly breeding program and releasing sterile male flies into the wild because female screwworms only, or well, the flies with screwworm only mate once. So if they mate with a sterile male fly, they won't reproduce. And the government has been doing this very quietly for decades now, and we've actually got it to where they're pushing it down into, like, they've created a barrier essentially down in Panama, so we don't have to like release these sterile flies over large areas. They've got it down to, it's, you know, the barriers, like at the Panama Canal, we'll say. They only have to release in that small area, and they're keeping, you know, the population that would come up from South America in check down there. And so we don't want to let, you know, the foreign cattle could be infected. We don't want to let them in. So that's my little TED Talk about screwworms and the flies and the government trying to manage that for us. I don't know. We'll see how the cattle thing shakes out. We'll see how this ages, because it'll be a few weeks before I get it posted. I mean, I'm not happy about it, but I see what the point is. I'm more mad about the, say, the bailout money sent to Argentina. We got plenty of problems here we need to solve with our own money. At least keep that here. I don't know, I feel like there could be a lot of pain before it gets better. It'll get better, we just don't understand it now. And I think that's part of it. It's like, a lot of things in government seems like is the reason why kids don't run a household, because they'd be doing whatever they want just to feel good. And, you know, the important things, like washing the dishes and doing the laundry, might not get done. And those are kind of, you know, maybe painful, annoying tasks. And I think that kind of might be some of the stage where the government's at. That we got to look at figuring out how to do some painful things in the short term to create a more long-lasting, long-term scenario. It's just not very apparent how that's going to unfold yet.